All right. So today we have built this little guy right here, little Grogu, and I think he has turned out very, very cute. I honestly very much appreciate how Lego has designed this model. I think when you have finished the build, it is actually one of the cutest brick build figurines that I've ever owned, to be honest. Like, especially I love the little mouth feature, and it has this little red part for his tongue. And it's just so cute. He just looks so happy, and it makes me happy when I look at it. It's just lovely. And also, I think the little ears are really cool with this 3D layering sort of beat technique, which I think is awesome. Um, and also the little board is kind of cute if you ignore that there's red in the middle of it for some weird reason. And also, um, these little arms are one of the cutest parts about it, in my opinion at least. Like, if you look at it, it's also posable, and it's just such a cute thing, and all of it is just so really cute. I love it. Um, what I what I really appreciated um, was how much 3D effect the layering brings out, and in the beginning it's also actually quite fun to build. Over the duration of the build, to be completely honest with you, it can be a little bit drawn out, if I can call it that. It's not like it's becoming boring in any way, because there's a lot of different shapes to it. So overall, it's not an issue of the parts being used, but just it's a little bit monotonous, because it is placing the same sand color on all four sides of the main body, like you maybe have seen during the build, which is well, quite a lot of bricks, as you see. And also the little arm elements on the side, on both sides, are also held in the same color, which is nice if you need it for the parts, and it's also getting exactly the effect that it wants to bring across, with this layering of the hood, and like the back side of it, where it actually shows it a little hood, and the meticulous and intricate detailing on the bottom here. I think all of that is a wonderful detail and a super nice feature. Just the building part of it is not as fascinating as with other sets. The UCS plaque is quite a little bit smaller, in my opinion, than some of the other ones. I have this right here, which can be compared, if you ask me, because it is exactly the plaque size. It's just from the BMW motorbike instead of an UCS model. You see, this is the regular size of the plaque, and this is the size that Grogu's plaque is, which I think is similar to the one from the probe droid, but I have not built the probe droid yet. So that's that's a build for another day, which I'm also kind of looking forward to. It's kind of a cute model too, the little robot. But yeah, as you can see, I think it kind of fits that it isn't so huge. One of the things I'm always kind of complaining about in these sets too, because in my opinion, especially if you put in a smaller plaque, even the possibility to print this would have been there, wouldn't it? So if you think about it, that's something that could have been put into it, and it would have put it into a sport that's even a little bit more premium, you know? The display opportunities of this are also quite huge, because you can pose it with the head in different angles. You can, like I mentioned, you can close up the mouth, you can open the mouth, and you can squeeze the fingers together, or you can even pose with the hands a little bit. Not too much, because you cannot turn or twist anything besides the head, which also, like I mentioned in the beginning, can be moved front and back for posability too. It speaks to all generations, because well, it's set, what is this set actually set for? It's set for 10 plus, so it wants to appeal to a younger audience too, which I understand with this sort of build. But once you are building it, I don't think that it will be the most enjoyable build possible for the amount of money it costs. There's different sites where you probably could have more fun with the playability aspect of this, because yeah, well, like I already mentioned, this is just for display. I got just for putting it back there in my cupboard somewhere and looking nice on stream. But if you actually want to interact with a Lego set, this is probably the wrong one, because once you post it and it's looking cute, it's doing exactly that, and nothing more than that. Because it's not completely clear from the picture. Like from the picture, you could think that maybe the arms would be more possible. For example, you could rebuild it in a way that both arms could work and could be tilted up and down and stuff like that, which would already increase the possibility and the play factor quite a bit. But well, for some reason Lego decided to not do that. Maybe because the angle of the hood is different on this side, and it's like hanging through a little bit more, as you can see, in comparison to the other arm here, where it's not as big of a drag. Here it's a little bit more of a drag at the bottom to simulate gravity, which actually is a nice touch. That if I put it closer to the camera so you can see it better what I'm talking about. Like, you can see the eyeballs have, I hope you can see it because there's a bunch of light shining around, but there's this brown shimmer at the bottom. It fits very well with the build. I think it's also my favorite part about it, and I'm very glad that they printed this piece, because if this would have been a sticker, it would have been ridiculous. It would not look good, but at the same time, it shows you that they can do it. They knew that this would not be acceptable for that piece, so it's just a saving method and nothing besides that for the UCS plaque, for example. I've heard the argument from them for not printing pieces when it's in playsets and sets 10 and above, because then they say, well, the children do not care that much about it, and it would just get damaged quicker. But then at the same time, like this is a 10 plus set. You printed some elements already. It's clear to see that this is not actually a playset, and in my opinion, at least when you have it in front of you, when you have it up at the shelf at the toy store, I'm not exactly sure if you can see it that well. So that's something to criticize. And also, the build itself, as I wanted to mention earlier already, will not be the most fun for most children, in my opinion. At least if I think back at my own childhood and what I appreciated building and what I thought was not that fun to build, it becomes clear to me that this would probably not be the most enjoyable set, just because it's so much of the same color and it's just layering. It's just basically like if you would be building a landscape and just put it into it being a figurine instead of a landscape. Like this back here, like basically all of the rope is just like if you build a desert strip of something. Like, to be honest, like if you build a diorama, it's very similar in terms of building style. For yeah, what I definitely wanted to mention was seeing how much this was going for. So it is 80 euros. It's still available. this is 80 euros for 1073 parts. Yeah, it's actually quite okay in terms of price to piece ratio, but like I mentioned earlier, also I'm sometimes talking about it, but it does not have the biggest impact. Like price to piece ratio is nice to know, but it is an overall number to keep in mind, but not the only reason you should base your buying decision on. But I also want to mention I did not pay 80 euros for this. I think I paid around 58 euros at, for example, Smith Toys. For 58 euros, I can definitely recommend this set. It's also probably, by the way, going to reach end of lifetime pretty soon, because it has been released 2020 and probably will be phased out at least next year. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the end of this year, which makes this a great set actually to get at the moment. And in my opinion, also, I can recommend this a lot. Like, not that much if you want to play with Lego, but I probably am not the right kind of person to talk about playsets too much. I'm honestly just in this hobby for collecting, and just because I very much enjoy relaxing while building this. But in my opinion, it's actually great value for the price. You get a wonderful display model, and I actually think this is one of the best display models that I've built in a long time. You are getting not only a great display model, you're getting a build which lasts you, at least I would say, if you're a fast builder and you are not streaming while you're doing it, you will very likely be around like 2 hours, more likely, or like 1.5 to 2 hours probably. Whereas, just because I was also talking and sometimes a little bit ranting in this video, I've reached around 3 hours. So I think the amount of time you get for your money is okay-ish for what you are getting. It's probably also good for parting out, actually. If I think about it, for 58 euros, you're getting over 1,000 parts, which is actually a good ratio, especially for Lego Star Wars. Like, Lego Star Wars has such a bad price per piece ratio that it's just a kind of a meme at this point. We have to be happy when there's actually a set that is not overpriced as terribly. Well, it originally was 80 euros, and it still is on Lego's website. By the way, you can buy it on lego.com too, which I really do not recommend doing for full price, when you can buy it at other retail stores for much cheaper. As a final thought, I would just recommend maybe splitting it either up, or maybe parting it with a loved one of yours that also likes to build, because, well, it's just a bunch of modular parts anyway. And if you just use online instructions, everybody can build on their own device, for example, or one can use the instruction manual, the other one can use the PDF online. And then I think it would be even more enjoyable, because like I mentioned, the build itself, especially the lower part of this, is not really the biggest fun for most people probably, but the finished result is just awesome. And I know there's a lot of people in the Lego community saying that the building experience is the most important part for them. So I'm just giving this out as a little warning for this set, because, well, the building experience will not be your best experience. It will be great once you are finished, because it's just a cute model, but the experience itself it is just a lot of the same sort of building style. So, other than that, I actually very much enjoyed my time today with all of you guys. I very much hope that you did too, at least to a certain degree. I'm always super happy for anybody that is tuning into this stream/videos. I am super grateful for anybody that is following or subscribing to my channels, because it really helps me out a ton. And yeah, I'm I just love creating content for you guys, and I'm super happy if somebody actually enjoys it, or if you're not and you think I'm doing something very wrong, then please always feel free to hit me up in the comments. Besides that, I want to thank all of you for participating today. I'm looking forward to the next stream. For me at the moment, it is 6:21 in the morning, so that's a good time to call it quits, I would say. And, and with little smiling Grogu, I also want to wish all of you a great evening, and I hope to see you in the next stream or video. Goodbye, guys.